Swole Benji here. Today I'm going to teach you how to be a gatherer in Albion Online Mobile. That's right. Instead of doing dungeons, this is how you can get started with gathering. If you just want to play casually, you don't want to have to worry about combat or pushing lots of buttons, this is something you can do while you're at the gym on an exercise bike with your phone. You can just click on things to harvest. I won't be going over the more tedious gathering professions such as fishing or skinning, and the reason for that is currently in the economy I have done all the math and all the research and all the spreadsheets, and right now the go-to gathering profession is fiber gathering from Bridgewatch. You transport to Limhurst, you refine it, you go back to Bridgewatch and sell it. Out of everything in Tier 4 and Tier 5, this is the #1 earning profession. It's also one of the easiest. It's also one of the least botted. This game does have bots. You're not supposed to bot, but the game does have gathering bots. And because the fiber has the lowest pixel ratio, it seems to be the least affected by bots. And not a lot of people are doing it. So I'm making a video for you. If you want to min-max it, great. You don't have to go fiber if you don't want to, but this guide, I will be harvesting fiber. And we're going to see how much silver we make per hour. And I've also did all the math and all the research and all the testing for the best zones to do gathering in, so you're going to get optimal results with this video. So make sure before you start the game, after you've created your character, that you have the play tutorial button selected. If you skip the tutorial, you do not get free 3 days premium, which is very important for starting out. You absolutely need that. Also, in the tutorial zone, we will be power leveling our gathering and getting a set ready for the mainland, which you do not want to skip, so let's go ahead and get started. I won't teach you how to play the tutorial, but don't leave the tutorial zone just yet. Follow along in the video and do everything that I do so that you can leave with the best possible results. Now, when you get to this part of the tutorial, just like the other video that I made on the dungeon path, you want to make sure to kill 2 to 3 foxes with a full yield so that you can craft a bag. By crafting a bag in the tutorial zone, you will be able to carry much more loot onto the mainland. And because we will be doing the gathering route, we will be carrying a lot of fiber to the mainland. Alright, so make sure that you get enough to craft a leather bag, and I will show you how in just a bit. When you get to this part, for harvesting cotton, make sure to harvest extra cotton. Now, for the sake of the video, we will be a fiber gatherer, and this is a form of fiber. So if you want, if you're following along and also choosing to be a cloth refiner and fiber gatherer, which is what this video is about, then feel free to sit here for a little while and collect plenty. But right now, you can just get enough to make a bag, and I'm going to show you right now how to craft the bag. When you get to the part where you need to refine your resources as part of the tutorial, just refine everything. You can't craft a bag with raw resources, so just go ahead and click on each bench here, and then refine everything that you have. To craft a bag, click on this vendor right here. This is the tool maker, and you'll see a tab that looks like a bag. Click the bag, then click Novice's Bag, and it takes 12 simple cloth and 12 stiff leather. So go ahead and craft one, and then put it on. This will allow you to carry up to 21 kilograms more of weight, combined with your donkey, which allows you to carry 25. And later you will get some boots that will let you carry a bit more. This will let you extract as many resources as possible out of the tutorial zone to help you on your quest to be a gatherer. When you get to this part in the quest on the tutorial, you want to buy a bow, because the bow is the best early game single target DPS that you can possibly get until Tier 4, but it also leads to escape gear, which you might use in the red and black zones if you choose to gather there. As a gatherer, your weapons aren't super important except for killing mobs that are guarding resource nodes, in which case having a fully charged up bow is the fastest way to kill a single mob from being dismounted, because the game does not allow you to use abilities immediately upon dismounting, but if you use your bow ability, you can charge up a passive stack that will then allow you to immediately begin attacking with your auto attacks. So the bow is one of the best early game gathering weapons, but it also leads to a whole bunch of other weapons like daggers and staffs that will let you escape gankers. So go with the bow as your weapon of choice. Also, just recommended, get at least one plate item, one leather item, and one cloth item. So in this case, I'm going to go with plate boots, leather chest piece, and cloth helmet. So those items, in case you are curious, the bow, the soldier's boots, the mercenary jacket, and the scholar cowl. Once you put those on, that completes the quest. When you get to this part in your tutorial quest where it says get to the pier and you see the circle at this doorway, which is located at the top of the snowy map here, do not go through the doorway. Do not go through. Once you go through this doorway, you cannot return back to Tutorial Island. You are locked out forever. And there is still plenty of things that we need to do. So head back to town, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do in order to power level your gathering, because we want to have gathering very high, and we want to have tons of refined resources in our inventory before we leave. Alright, so what we're going to do now is you're going to repair all of your inventory gear. It's going to cost a little bit of silver, that's fine. We're going to go to salvage, and we're going to drop in everything we're not going to be using. I'm not going to be chopping wood. I don't need a sword anymore, or a pickaxe, or a skinning knife. I don't need my tier 1 equipment at all. So I'm going to salvage all of this. It's going to give me some wood and some stone and some leather. That's fine, and it gives you some silver back. You also get an achievement, so why not? Now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to craft some more sickles. So there we go. I got another sickle. And let's get one more. I'm just going to grab some stone real quick. Just a little bit more to craft one more sickle. I'm going to have 3 sickles total because we're going to be breaking these as we use them. And that way we don't have to come back. Because we're going to be gathering cloth for just a little while down here. Not too long, but I think that's enough now. Alright, so let's craft another one. Well, 2 more. We have 4 sickles now. And now we're going to toss out everything that is not fiber. And then we're going to hit stack and sort. Make sure that you've equipped your carrot soup and your cape. Now, as you can see, what I have right now is 12% of our inventory's weight. So now, I'm going to go and power level our cloth gathering. And there's 2 things that we are going to do before we leave. We're going to harvest a lot of cotton, which in the snowy area is this little twig on here with the little white puff at the top. Now, every time you do this, I'm going to press B and open the Destiny board. If you scroll down from the middle, straight down, you will see this. It's called Trainee Gatherer. We want to make sure that this hits 240. And what that's going to do is unlock Journeyman fiber harvesting, along with fishing and mining and animal skin. It'll unlock everything. So, we are now going to sit in the tutorial island until we unlock tier 4. So it doesn't take too long, and I will see you back here when we do that. But at the same time, once your weight gets high enough, you're going to go to town and you're going to refine this, because at the same time, when you scroll down here, I'm sorry, you go to the right and you'll see Trainee Craftsman. Then you go down and left to this one. This is Journeyman Refiner. And then we're going to go here to Adept Fiber Weaver. And it wants us to craft simple cloth or better. So we're going to level both of these in the tutorial island. It does take a little while. And these things aren't worth much money anyway, but we can still get a little bit from them because we can sell it to the market here on the tutorial island. But you absolutely want to power level this here because the resources respawn super duper fast. You have 0 competition. You don't have to run around all over the map. It is extremely convenient to do your power leveling right here and right now. And it's going to set us up to go straight into tier 4 zones. There we go. We have Trainee Gatherer unlocked. So now when I go down here, we're starting to get experience for Journeyman Harvester. Now earlier, this is actually new. Earlier I said we're going to sit here and do this until we're at tier 4. Not quite. We're going to go to the mainland and get our free 3-day premium, which is also going to give us 100 learning points. So we only need to level this up by 20%. Once we hit 20%, we're leaving for the mainland. Sorry, that was a mistake on my part. Alright, so I've got learning point reached for Fiber Harvester. Obviously, we don't get learning points until we go to the mainland. So we don't have to harvest fiber anymore. And if you're wondering, I'm at 94% weight capacity with 393 fiber. one broken sickle and one semi-broken sickle. That's fine. But we didn't have to back, if we didn't craft multiples of these, we would have to backtrack and then come back out here. And it just saves time to craft a bunch in the town. Alright, so now we're going to go and we're going to refine all of that. And see how far we get in cloth refining. Don't need a repair. Alright, 393 going in. There we go. So we have Journeyman Refiner learned. And then we're going to see how far this pushes us to... Oh, looks like I didn't finish there because I guess when you open the Destiny board, it cancels your refining. Alright, let's see how far that got us. Alright, so that got us over halfway, so we need to go harvest more cotton. I'm going to go ahead and repair so that I have 4 fresh sickles, and I will be right back. Alright, so once you get to 160% orange colored, that's when you kind of want to stop. Let me show you what I mean by orange. When I harvest this number will turn red. And there it is. So when it turns red, that means you're moving incredibly slow. So I'm going to just throw one, well, not of that one. I'm going to throw one of these out until it turns orange. And then one more. And there we go. Now we're back to orange. So we move a little bit faster. Now let's go back and refine, and these 300 cottons should put us at 20% in. Remember, we're going down here, and we are leveling Adept Fiber Harvester until it's at 20% so that we can use learning points to boost it forward. Alright, and there we go. We got it. Now, before I move on, if you want a lot of starting money, the best thing that you can do... Also, I tossed out some of these sickles because we'll be getting a tier 3 one as soon as we go to the starter area. Now, you'll notice the number at the bottom right of the screen says 3 people. That means there's only 3 players on this whole map. This never happens. This usually has like 40 to 50 people. If you happen to be on a map with almost nobody, you can harvest these stones, these rough stones. Check it out. So, one rough stone is worth 80 silver. One refined cloth is worth 16. And check out the weight values. 0.2 kilograms versus 0.2 kilograms. So if you want to leave the starting area with a ton of extra money, then you can sit here and harvest stone, and that's going to give you a huge jump start to your silver. It's going to let you skip doing some grinds for silver, and you will be in a much better place. And you may be wondering, but Swolbenji, I harvested all this simple cloth, I don't want to get rid of it, I don't want to lose it, what can I do? Well, if you go over to the market, you can actually sell it. Which, you won't sell it for its worth of 16, you're going to get like a penny each or something for it, but you go here, and for all I know, this could have been changed. So let me make sure. You go to sell, or we're going to go to simple cloth, and we can get 1,334 at a price of 2 each. So I'm doing the stone method. You don't have to if you don't want to. It does take more time. Obviously, you can't sell it here, but we can sell it in the market. So I'm going to go and gather some rough stone and until I'm at 160% orange. Won't take too long because, again, they're all in this really big circle. And, yeah, this is absolutely free money right here. Just one, I just want to see how much one lap gives us. And you can see it's already respawning by the time I'm over here at the tail end. Harvest this one too. Alright, so that made us 2,331. So yeah, you're going to need a lot of silver for a lot of things as a gatherer. And if you give it a sec, these will become 2 nodes instead of 1. So I'm just going to go down here, grab these 2 rocks. Okay, that guy grabbed them. But you get the point. I'm going to fill up my inventory with rough stone so I can sell it at the market and give us a better jump start to gathering. Alright, this is our first hour. We're just about ready to leave the tutorial island. 1 hour of playtime. I've been harvesting stone for just a bit. I'm at 666 stone. It says I've sold an item through the marketplace, which was just... The marketplace on the tutorial island isn't real, so... this stone is worth 53,000 silver, and if you want, you can keep going. I'm at 98% weight capacity. I would say keep it under 160 orange. So if you want, you can have another 25 to 30,000 silver by just harvesting more stone, and that's fine. There's really no rush, but I think we're good enough now that we can go ahead and go to the mainland. We're not going to exactly get 54k because I'm going to sell it at the starter zone. But you can go to the main capital cities, and I went the wrong way. You can go to the main capital cities if you want and get a slightly bit more. Alright, remember, once you pass this doorway, you can't go back. So we're going to go through the doorway. Alright, maybe they fixed it. This is a new patch. I'm just curious. Is it going to let me leave? Yeah, look, see, it's destroyed now. See, I literally went down the stairs and back up, and the doorway, you cannot go back. It has been collapsed. So, yeah, interesting stuff. They really want you off this island as soon as possible. Now, I've done the math, and I'm choosing Bridgewatch because that is where, mathematically, currently in the game, our gathering makes the most profit. But let me explain. Step Cross, this area is mostly for skinning. Forest Cross is for trees. Mountain Cross is for metal. Swamp Cross is for fiber. And you may be wondering, why aren't we choosing Swamp Cross? It's the fiber one. And I'll explain. And then we have Highland Cross, which is stone. The reason we go to Step Cross is because to refine fiber, we need to go to Limhurst, which is the forest area. But we can also harvest fiber in the desert area, and there's not that many people harvesting in the desert area. There's not as many fiber nodes. But in order to refine, we want to be one town away. There is no cloth in the mountain zones. There's only cloth in the swamp and the steppe area. And I believe forest area too. Or maybe it's high. It's like usually 3 out of 5, but in this case we have fiber in swamp, we have fiber in the steppe area. So we're going to go to the steppe area, and let me show you how to check. If you open your map and you click an area, you can see at the top right this has leather, fiber, and metal. All right, and in the forest area, it has wood, stone, and leather. Because the refining area is done in Limhurst and we harvest in Bridgewatch, it's only a 7-minute journey to go there to refine it, and then a 7-minute journey back home. Whereas if we were in Thetford, yes, there's more fiber nodes, but we have to travel for 15 minutes there and then 15 minutes back, safely that is. And that is too much time and not worth the effort. And fiber does not sell for nearly as much in Thetford. It does not sell nearly as much in Fort Sterling. It sells for the most in Bridgewatch. So, once you've completed Tutorial Island, you talk to this guy, you hit complete, you hit accept. Now, when you talk to this character right here, it will activate your 3-day premium. So, only do this, only click on this guy and complete the quest whenever you have plenty of downtime, whenever you are ready to go, whenever you are absolutely all set with everything and you're ready to get your grind on. Now, up here, this guy is your gathering quest giver. This is all new to the game. So, he teaches you how to gather. Oh, I have a mission in progress. So I'm going to go ahead and... first, I'm going to offload my stone. I'm going to go to the market here, and you'll see on the map there is a golden gavel, and this is the marketplace. Whenever you mouse over this lady, you'll see a cog and a wheel. So left-click that, and we're going to go to sell. And if you don't see anything in your sell tab, make sure you click these arrows that say Reset Filter Settings. Now we're going to go to Sell on Stone, and then I'm going to click this arrow to see the price. So it is a little cheaper than the main cities. Right now it's selling at 64. The main cities are averaging about 80. So we're going to get 40,000 silver for this. I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's not too much for me. And it's more than enough, really. Alright, let's go down here. Now this guy down here, he has you take a tour around the town. He also gives you some dungeon quests and some PvE stuff. But we're doing gathering. It will earn you about 40,000 silver when you're done with it. If you want another 40,000 silver, just do this guy's quests. For the meantime, I'm just going to stop it there, get the 3 days premium, and go up here and start the gathering quests. Alright, so this guy talks about gathering. We hit accept, talk to him, and he's like, have you decided what you want to do? So I'm going to click this little drop-down box, and I'm going to click, I want to gather fiber. Alright, and he's going to tell us to gather, get a sickle, get a novice's sickle, and then gather fiber until it's harvester, until you can unlock Journeyman, which we've already done in the tutorial zone, but he does want us to gather cotton and flax, which is tier 3, which is it's really easy to get. So let's go ahead and you'll see at the top right corner we have percentages now. So Adept Fiber Weaver, we're going to left click that. And this will allow us to now refine fine cloth. Now I'm going to scroll up on the Destiny board. Remember, the Destiny board, you go straight down, you hit the Trainee Gatherer. You go straight down to this sickle icon. That is your Journeyman Fiber Harvester. We're going to click Learn on that because we have learning points now. Alright, so now we can use a Tier 3 sickle. So we're just going to go over here to the merchant and buy a sickle by going to Category and then, well, Gathering Gear. No, I'm sorry. Tool. You go to Tool. You go Sickle. Then you use this drop-down box and you click Tier 3. 420 silver. We have 42,000. I think we can afford one of those. So I'm going to buy that. And then I'm going to clear my search parameters. And I'm going to get rid of this sickle. It's 30. And then this other sickle. I'm just going to trash it. We don't need it anymore. So we have a Tier 3 sickle. Alright. Now, wait. It wants a novice's sickle too? Okay. The quest wants us to get a novice's sickle. So we'll go ahead and do that. I don't know why. That's a little weird. That's the Tier 2. So we'll just buy that for 135. There we go. Now it wants us to go to any swamp or mountain or steppe zone, which you can see on the map. It's got them highlighted. It wants us to go here or here, but not here, because if you go here, there is no fiber. So I'm just gonna go not up, because that's towards the capital city. There's more people in that one. I'm gonna go down and to the right. And then it should point us out on the map where some resources are. Yeah, you see these circles on the mini-map? It's showing us where resources are. So we're just gonna ride up to these circles and harvest some cotton and some flax. And I will get back to you once that is complete. So I've went to the circle on the mini-map. I'm in the middle. And you can see these like purple bushes, and that is flax. You will note that it takes longer to harvest. Also, because premium is active, we get extra materials when we harvest. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this quest, and I'll see you back in town. By the way, just a quick tip. For whatever reason, it's telling me about carry weight. The default chat is super cancerous, right? So click this arrow, and then click Advanced, and then click General, and then scroll down and unclick Looking for Group. That will save you a ton of spam that you will never ever use. As a gatherer, you have no reason to be doing hardcore expeditions, and you can now better see the English chat. And speaking of English chat, the game masters in this game are extremely soft and picky, so never ever say anything offensive or they might mute you forever, which is basically ruins your account. I mean, don't even use like a preschool insult. Don't call someone a hot dog. Don't call someone a janitor, a poopy head, you know, a dingus or a doofus or a buster, you know, or a pipsqueak or anything, you know, soft and minor like that, because they will mute you for it. Just a heads up. So guys, don't make the mistake that I just literally made, okay? I don't know why, but because I have the Tier 2 sickle and the Tier 3 sickle in my inventory, it decided it's going to use the Tier 2 sickle, which makes your harvesting actually much slower. So just trash that thing after you've completed the quest. Also, I'm up to 130% because I decided to get some more flax while I'm out here, and I'm returning to town now to turn in the quest. Alright, we're back in town. Now we can turn in the quest. Alright, so now it's going to have us refine the cloth, which is very simple. We did this in the tutorial island, but I guess it wants us to do it again. We're going to go right here to the Weaver. And it's funny that it doesn't mark it on the map. I think they got a little lazy with the gathering portion of the redo, but there is still a circle around it, so that's cool. Now, when I refine these, I should move a little bit better, and it's kind of explaining craft 80 cloth and 20 fine cloth. All right. Well, I'm gonna do more. I'm just gonna do all of them. And there we go. I think, that gave us some focus. I believe that's what the reward is. Maybe. Okay, now we're going to return to the quest giver, and let's see what he gives us. This is all brand new. This came out in yesterday's patch, so I'm excited. Let's see. Return to Royal Crafter in Step Cross. Okay. And then it's like, you're knowledgeable enough to continue onward. Return to the Royal Commander. So, now we go to the Commander? Again, this quest seems poorly designed compared to the other new ones. Alright, and completed. Wow, that did almost nothing. We didn't even get anything. Alright, well that was a big waste of time. Well now. So anyway, if you do these starter quests, this will earn you 40,000 more silver, which is actually really friggin' helpful. However, we don't really need that. We're a gatherer. We're just going to be gathering. In the meantime, we're going to build up our silver reserves. Let me see what the prices are for this kind of stuff. That's not that good. That's really low. Well, that one's not too bad. We're gonna sell our stuff in the main city. So let's just go ahead and go to Bridgewatch. Now, if you're brand new, go ahead and try out the dungeon portion by talking to that quest giver. I have another video that covers all of that. But for the sake of gathering only, I'm just gonna beeline it straight to Bridgewatch. I'm gonna basically sell everything except our sickle, and I'm going to continue grinding until we get tier 4. For reference, this is the tier 4. Just doing the tutorial little quest there gave me that much, so it really won't take much time. And if I run into any tier 3 nodes along the way, you bet you I will harvest them. And I'm going to show you what to buy once we get to town, because we need to upgrade our bag. And, if possible, buy some journals. So we're going to go ahead and work on that, and I will see you there. Alright, so we've made it to Bridgewatch. Now, there's a lot going on this map, but all we're going to worry about right now is this Golden Gavel, which is the marketplace. So we're going to go there, and I highly suggest watching some of my other videos. Even if you're not a Dungeon Chad, you can watch the Dungeon one. I talk about the same stuff. Once you're down here, there is a lot of players, by the way. You see this big chunk of nameplates. If you hover your mouse over it, you'll see a, well, let's move a little closer. You'll see the gear icon. When you see the gear icon, just left click. This will open the marketplace, and we are going to sell our stuff here. And we have the option of quick selling for 15 or putting a sell order for 19 or lower if we want. I'm just going to do a quick sell. And see, you can notice that this goes for way more than in the starter zone. So we're going to go ahead and sell that, and then sell these as well. For now, we're just building up our money. We have 52,290. I'm going to go to category, accessories, and bag. I'm going to go to tier and click tier 4. You'll notice that it's red, so I'm going to go to tier 3. You'll notice it's also red. So we can't upgrade our bag right now. Also, we can't upgrade our mount. So there is currently nothing for us to buy in the market. Let's go and harvest some cotton and some flax. But we can also harvest the tier 4s. When you have a tier 3 tool, you can harvest the tier 4 as well. Here's another important one. This red bench right here says Elder's Repair Station. It says it's owned by the system and its usage fee is 0%. Go ahead and repair here because you want a fully repaired sickle before you go out into the zones. Now I'm going to press Ilm and you'll notice that there are different tier zones. This IV is 4 in Roman numerals and this is a blue color. This is a tier 4 blue zone. That means you can harvest tier 4 resources. If you go this way, there is a tier 5 zone, which is yellow. Yellow means that players can attack you and down you, but they can't kill you and take your stuff. So this has tier 5 resources. Because we have a tier 3 sickle, we cannot harvest tier 5 resources. I have done the math, and until you unlock tier 7 gathering equipment, tier 4 zones are the ones that make you the most money. So I am going into a tier 4 zone, which is right here. And I suggest going maybe 1 or even 2 more zones out. Because there are 27 players in this zone. But I don't want to go too far from town right now because I just want to unlock Journeyman Adventurer, which is right here. Journeyman Adventurer will give us access to a transport ox and a tier 3 bags. That's what we want to work on right now. And we're going to unlock that. You would unlock it if you did the tutorial about dungeons. And you would make 40,000. So that's actually really recommended. But for the sake of this video, I'm skipping that because I did that last video and I don't feel like doing it again. So I'm going to ride around randomly until I find fiber to harvest. Alright, and depending on the time of day that you do this and the amount of players in the zone, you might not find as much. You might have to go further out into other zones so you can find more. Here is a enchanted tier 4 fiber. Because it's enchanted, it's considered tier 5. Our tier 3 cannot harvest this. But we will be able to soon. But hey, here's one that's not enchanted. You can see that it takes a little while to harvest, but that's going to give us more experience, and that's fine. You can actually skip the tier 4 ones until you have a tier 4 tool if you wish, but I'm not going to because I just want to finish Journeyman Adventurer as soon as possible. And I'll cut back to you after I harvest a bunch and get that leveled up. Alright, I'm going to admit right now that if you do the starter quest in the noob zone, not the gathering one, but the dungeon one, it's going to put you in tier 3 full equipment, it's going to have your adventurer level 3, and it's going to save you way more time having to run back and forth on a donkey with a tier 2 bag and selling fiber that you gather, because I'm at 159% and only 84% in, and I've got to do a whole nother one of these hauls before I even level up to Journeyman Adventurer. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just selling everything that I'm harvesting, just flat, hard, quick selling, because we need the money. Right now, we're starved for money, and we're going to have plenty of fiber anyway. It's fine. So just keep harvesting, or go do the tutorial. For the sake of this video, because I did it last video, I'm not doing it. So you can go do it, or you can go check out that video if you want to know how to do it and how it works. By the way, if you're curious about what gathering is, this is what it is, alright? This is the whole gathering game, essentially. You click your mount, you right up next to the resource node, you left click it, and you harvest it. And you rinse, and you repeat, and you rinse and you repeat until you have as much silver in the game as you want to do with whatever it is that you plan to do in the game. That's all gathering really is. Yeah, there's things like filling journals and giving them to laborers and then eventually doing farmland work, but this is essentially it. This is the whole gathering game right here. It's just that when you have higher tier gear and higher tier equipment and specialization, you can pretty much instantly delete this. Like, you left click it and it's gone, and you get like 24 instead of 6. I have plenty of videos on my channel that show off gathering at different tiers, different specs. I myself started the game as a gatherer doing lumberjacking, and I have a tier 8 wood chopping set. I have near maximum specs on wood chopping, so I can go up to a tree, delete it instantly, and get a huge amount of logs, which is a decent amount of money, and it's just lazy, fun, and easy. But if you're wondering what gathering is, this is it. This is all it is. This is something you can do while you're on your exercise bike at the gym. It's simple. Alright, we got Journeyman Adventurer. Didn't take too long, just 2 trips. And we're at 144%. So we're going to go back to town now. And this allows us to use a tier 3 bag and an ox. And now that we have an ox, we can carry way more materials than what we've got in our inventory. And that's going to let us have some staying power to hang out and gather for a much longer time. Alright, back again with more selling, so we're just quick selling to get that money and clear our inventory. You could bank this, but it's not really worth it until later. We don't even have focus to refine with anyway. We're up to 83,000. So now, in the search bar, I'm going to type '(S) transport, and that's going to bring up the oxes. So, wow, they actually went up in price. Well, they're 10,000 now for some reason. I don't know why, but they're normally around 6,000, so I'm not sure what that is, but we still need an ox. So I'm going to buy an ox. Nearly 11,000, yikes. I'm going to clear my search parameters. I'm going to go to accessories, bag, and go to tier 3 and get ourselves a tier 3 bag. And there we go. We're going to press A to get off of our mule, press right click to equip the ox, press right click on the bag, and then I'm going to sell the mule and the bag. Alright, so now we are in a very strong position. So the way the ox works, okay? The ox will move a little slow. It's not a fast mount, but it can hold a lot of stuff. So let's say you have a huge inventory full of items and you're dismounted. If you walk out of this circle, it despawns your ox. Now, if your ox despawns, you don't get that... Oh, that's convenient timing. The server's going down. If you despawn the ox, you don't get that carry weight anymore, and you will be walking until you resummon the ox. So don't walk outside of your ox's range. At this point now, I am 13% into tier 4. And once I hit that 20%, I'm going to spend 35 learning points out of 91 that we have to advance to tier 4, which will allow us to wear gathering gear. And this is when gathering really starts to get fast. And hopefully by that time, we can also afford an Avalonian sickle, which we will then sell when we hit tier 5. But But in the meantime, let's also buy some pork pies. So I'm going to type pork pie into the search parameters. And 4,200, wow, those are also expensive. Okay, well, it's still worth it. I'm going to buy a pork pie. Okay, well, that one was not available. This one's available. I bought one pork pie. I'm going to right-click it and replace my carrot soup. And then I'm going to sell the carrot soup by clearing my search parameters so that they show up. And then I'm just going to quick sell it. There we go. So we have the pork pie. So for the next 30 minutes, which the servers are going down in 28 minutes, I won't get the full effect of the pie. It will increase my yield by 15%. So let's say I gathered 100 fiber. Well, 15% of 100 is 15, so I will have 15 additional fiber. And over time, that will absolutely pay for itself, but the number one reason we're also using it is because every time you get additional yield from using the pork pie, you get more fame. And the faster we fame up to tier 4 and tier 5, the more silver we will make. So I'm just going to go out on my ox now and gather, and I will see you before the servers go down. Alright, we did it. We have 20% into tier 4. We're going to use our learning points immediately, and we are going to return to town. So interesting thing, while I was out gathering, I managed to find a hidden treasure, which is just a yellow glowing piece of stuff on the ground. It had one of these worth 20,000 and one of these worth 600. So when I sell all this, this should put us well over 100,000. We can buy a full set of gathering gear and an Avalonian sickle, which some people will argue that the Avalonian sickle's repair cost is not worth the gain. However, that is incorrect. You will earn far, far more with the Avalonian sickle than without. And the repair cost isn't as bad because your durability does not go down as fast on it as it does a normal sickle. It is always worth it in every gathering profession to always get the Avalonian tool, unless you are going into the red or black zones, because then it is a huge risk and super expensive to replace if you lose it. But once we are done with tier 4, we can sell the Avalonian sickle and buy a tier 5 Avalonian sickle. This will tier us up and allow us to level our gathering faster than other people. So it's something we absolutely want to do. So at this stage, we can now replace our equipment. Well, except for the bow. But once you get money rolling, you can just buy tomes if you want to upgrade your weapon. As a gatherer, you don't have to do dungeons. You just read books and then, ta-da, you can use a new bow. It's really that simple. So let's get started. Now that we can wear tier 4, we're going to go to category and then gathering gear. And then we're going to go to harvester garb. And then we're going to buy one of those. You don't need to buy 4.1 or 4.3. That does not increase your gathering yield. That only gives you more HP, which we don't really need. A harvester's backpack. This will let us carry way more cloth. Harvester's cap. And harvester's work boots. And then we're going to go to tool and go to sickle to tier 4 and type Ava. And that's going to show us the Avalonian sickle. We need to sell some stuff before we can afford that, though. So let's go ahead and put on our gathering gear. Now, here's what I use. I use a block. I use Spirit of Vengeance. What this will do is increase your gathering speed, right? And it gives you a shield, so you can harvest while you're being attacked by mobs. Very useful. For boots, I use Wanderlust. When you start gathering in tier 5 zones, you might be attacked sometimes, and this setup allows you to not put yourself in combat, except for the armor, and allows you to escape gankers. Alright, now, real quick, let's just sell everything that we got. The flax. And from here on out, we will start refining, unless we need money for tier 5 gear, but that's going to be a little while. This is a really lucky find. By the way, I have not done the tutorial for the Royal Sigil, which is worth like 30 to 40k, so this kind of makes up for not doing that by half. So if you did the tutorial, you will have more silver than me right now, and you will be able to afford everything I've pointed out so far. Alright, so let's buy that Avalonian sickle. We're going to tool, sickle, tier 4, and type AVA for Avalonian. And that's 97,000, so I'm going to buy that. That puts us at 14,000. That's okay. Now I'm going to sell the tier 3. Alright, now here's the next step. I'm going to type journal, and then I'm going to go to category and go to trophies and go to fiber trophy. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. No, that is wrong. It's is it product? Yeah, product journals. And then I'm going to go to tier 4. And I'm going to type harvest? I forget the name. Cropper. It's called Cropper. There we go. Adept's Cropper Journal Empty. This is the one you want. I'm going to buy 5. So these are 2,000 each. I'm going to buy 5. So that's going to give me 10,000. Now, a full one will sell for... Cropper's Journal... Full. A full one sells for 3,880. So that's a 1,880 free profit from each of these. It's free money, so we might as well do it. So we have our journals, and once we have islands up and running, we can even start generalist journals if we want. Alright, so earn 100,000 silver through the marketplace. We've got the achievement. So at this point, you know what? Let's get another pork pie. I forgot. I always forget the pork pies, guys. We have enough money for another pork pie. Pretty sure we do.
Welcome, friend.
And then restart my search parameters. Yeah, 4,200. Okay. So I'm not going to use this until the servers come back online because the servers go down in 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pretty far away from town now with the tier 4, I'm sorry, the tier 3 backpack, the harvester's backpack, which stacks, the tier 4 harvester boots, the harvesting gear, the pork pie, and the ox. We can harvest for a very long time without having to return back to town. So here's where I'm going on the map. I'm going to go from Bridgewatch all the way down here to Sandgust Cleft. It's one of the more empty zones, and it's pretty far away from town, so you won't be bothered by anybody, and there's less people harvesting out there. So what you want to do as a gatherer is pick one zone and learn it like the back of your hand. You're going to be harvesting in that zone for quite some time, until tier 7. Alright? We are not leaving that zone until we hit tier 7, and then we'll start tier 5s. You can grab stuff along the way. Look how much faster I harvest now that I'm in tier 4. And look how much more bonus that I get now that I have this. So the way this armor works is, as you put it on, it takes a little bit of time to stack up. This is a game mechanic to prevent you from swapping to a gathering set to harvest one thing and then swapping to a combat set. You actually have to wear the gathering set for a bit. You'll see these icons in your top left corner. They all say 9. They will eventually say 10. And what that means is when it hits 10, that you are fully stacked up and ready to harvest. So what this does, this armor gives you basically 5% increased yield when it's stacked up all the way to 10. And then the helmet and boots combine for another 5. So that is a 10% bonus. The pork pie is a 15% bonus. So we're at 25% additional. Then the sickle is another 10%. So that's 35%. So if we harvest 100 cloth, we get 35 free. Now at tier 8, this bonus is huge. And when you have specialization, you can get up to like 200% return. So for every 1 fiber you gather, you get like 4 or 3 or something. Oh, and premium is a 50% bonus as well. Now later, once we have more fame, we will faction flag up while doing this, and that's going to give us even more income and just more free points for money, for upgrades, for guild islands. So right now we're all set. I'm gonna go gather until the servers go down, and then I will show you my character page of how long I've played to achieve tier 4. Which to me, it's all been on one sitting. It's just been very casual. I've just been watching YouTube while I do this. It has not taken very long at all. Server goes down in 8 minutes. So I'll see you in a bit. And this is why I go to Sandgust Cleft. I'm the only one here. I have the entire zone to myself. There is no one else in the zone. Normally, gatherers get on a lot. Like, they will come into the zone before, like, the server restarts and camp all the big nodes. But there's literally no one here. I mean, it's 5 minutes before the server restarts. There's normally like 10 to 20 people here. Oh, cat's hitting me, so I gotta back off. When we upgrade our weapon, we could just delete the mobs around a node like this and then pick it up a lot easier. But this is why I go here. You gotta find your own place. If you want to come here too, that's fine. I mean, I'm not really a harvester, so if this video gets popular, you can bet that this place will be packed. Whenever I made videos on skinning in this zone, the population jumped from 8 to like 40. So if that's the case, you'll have to find somewhere else to go. There's plenty of places. This one is just 3 tiles away from town, which means it's less trafficked. There's really not a lot going on in this zone anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep gathering, and I'll show you the character screen when the servers come back up. if you're wondering, this is what a hidden treasure looks like. It's got a little yellowy orange glow. So you just smash it open and let's see what we got. We got 1,600 and a 1,300 in silver there. Very nice. So this is how the journal works, okay? Every time you harvest a tier 4 node, it's going to put fame into this book. And when this book hits 1,800 fame, it becomes full, which you can then give to a laborer. Also, I use my armor ability, so that increases my harvesting speed. Look how fast I can do the cotton node right here. Boom, boom, boom. That's how fast it speeds it up. Anyway, just some quick tips for you. Alright, while we're waiting on the realms to come back up, this is the test realm, okay? This is a 8.3 maximum geared, maximum spec player. This is about how much health you can expect to have, 4,313. If you are fully decked out as a tier 8 gatherer with a double-bladed staff, which is, in my opinion, one of the better movement, chase, and escape weapons for gatherers. Here you can see every single thing is maxed out at 100 because it is the test realm. So we are going to harvest this as fast as possible. I have the pork pie active now. The only thing I don't have is the Avalonian sickle because it's not available in the test realm. But if we did have that, that would be another 20% yield. So here's tier 2. Yoink. And here's tier 3. And then here's tier 4. I'm going to activate run speed on boots, and now I'm going to show you with the armor active how fast it is. Here's tier 2. It's tier 3. It's instant. Tier 4. So yeah, there you go. It's so fast. Tier 4 is faster than tier 3 now because of the spec. And let's see how much we earned from just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes. Okay. 7 nodes got us this many. Which, that's 2,000. Okay, that value is wrong. That value is obviously wrong. Let me see what it's saying. Yeah, that's about 30. So 30 times... what would that be, like 15,000? This would be like 15,000. This would be... no, I think that's wrong too. Hold on, I have it saved on a notepad. We can see what the value is that we would be getting here. Just real quick, in a bridge watch, tier 4 fiber goes for 56. So that's 56 times 32, whatever that is. Yeah. And that's like what, 17 I believe, and that was 30. So 30 and then 56 per. You can do the math, you can pause and do the math, but that's how much we got in literal seconds of clicking things. And that's the power of maximum spec, just in case you're wondering. If gathering's not for you, you can close down the video and check out the dungeon video instead. But if you want to work your way to be able to harvest that quickly, then by all means go for it. And like I said before, the Harvester's Garb, it does not give you more yield whenever you have 0.3 enchantments. All it does is give you a bigger shield, which is 1,282 shield. That's actually a lot. The work boots. There's nothing that scales except for HP, that's pretty much it. And then the Harvester Cap is capped at 3 seconds for sleep, which sucks because you used to be able to use this to dump meteors on people, but they've kind of fixed that now. Anyway, so let's get back to the main server. Alright, so 2 hours, 26 minutes. That has enabled us to be fully set up and ready to go with the gathering grind. This is equivalent to having your tier 4 set. And I don't have my ox summoned, so you can see I'm already overweight. I'm going to get this enchanted material. The servers just came back up, by the way, so I'm the only one in Sandgust Cleft. Just like when we logged out. So we're gonna summon our mount, and then you'll notice the weight will go down to 15%. Very nice. Alright, and I'm just going to keep gathering, and here's where we're at. 1,700 in silver. 124,000 in materials, which, well, this is 95,000, and we sell this when we're done. Alright, and then my equipment value is 20,000. So if you don't want the Avalonian pick, it's only 20,000 for all this that you see here. And I'm going to go ahead and eat the pork pie and get started with some big grinds, and I'll cut back whenever I have something interesting to show. By the way, when you see this Adept Fiber Harvester, don't put your learning points into that. All that does is increase how fast you harvest tier 4. You already have tier 4 unlocked. You want to save all your learning points for unlocking tier 5, because when you can use tier 5 gathering gear and the tier 5 tools, it's way faster, then dumping it into your tier 4 speeds, and the tier 5 tools let you just get bigger yield. You get bigger yield because of the Avalonian tool, you get bigger yield because the tier 5 harvesting gear gives you more. So save all your learning points for going up in tiers. From tier 7 to tier 8 takes 800 something learning points. So you're going to need a lot of them. Like, save all your learning points for that. Don't spend them on anything else. Alright, look at the screen right now and look at all of the resource nodes untapped. This is the cool part about being a gatherer, is whenever you come across something like this, then it's just free money on the ground. Like, the green ones are tier 4s, the purples are tier 3s. And once you level this up, you can just delete them instantly and then move on and delete those instantly. Like, a tier 8 gatherer would have wiped out this whole camp in a second and moved on to the next big, thick camp. So yeah, that's the fun part about gathering, is you can have something to look forward to. Alright, our pork pie just ran out, and we made about 105,000 if you don't count the cost of the Avalonian sickle. And then if you want to factor in repairs, we can round that up just to be simple with it and say that we're making 200,000 silver per hour so far with just tier 4, and we don't have, very much spec into anything, but 200,000 an hour starting out, not really the best. Dungeons are technically better, though they do require more finesse and more, actually playing the game and not just zoning out and clicking things and then watching them like get vacuumed up. But yeah, so far 200k an hour. And I'm going to go back to town at some point whenever this thing breaks, so it's at 36. At 10% it will stop working. At that time, I would just stay out here, eat more pork pies, and use this repair bench right here at this faction outpost to repair. However, because we spent all of our silver, we only have 1,700, we have to go back to town and sell. And then from here on out, once I have enough pork pies, I'm going to start using refining. So we will be making trips to Limhurst to refine our fiber into cloth, because that's something we also want to level. You zoom the map back out, holy crap. And that's when the money per hour will start shooting up for us. And then we'll see how long it takes until we get a steady income and how much we can expect per hour. And then from there, I can tell you how long it will take for you to get your first premium. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and mosey on over to Limhurst. The weapon here is broken, we're broke. We're going to sell the 2 filled journals for 8,000 and some of the materials and the treasures here to repair our sickle, and then we're going to sell a bit more so that we can refine all of this into actual cloth. We will then ride back to Bridgewatch and then sell it, and that's going to give us a decent amount of profit for only 15 minutes of riding time. So, here I am on the map. Down here, I need to ride through, what is this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zones to get to Limhurst. Every zone's about 2 minutes-ish, maybe, on an ox, so, well, less than that, it's about a minute, really. So that's like, what, 5 minutes? And then back to basically here to back to Bridgewatch is a 15-minute round trip. So I will see you at Limhurst. So along the way I killed the mob, and I got my Journeyman Hunter to 20%, so I'm going to learn that so I can use a tier 3 bow, I can use stabs, if I want to like do some stun runs and some jumps to get away from gankers. This also dramatically increases your damage. Tier 2 to tier 3 is a huge damage jump, and we can use these tomes, these Novice's Tome of Insight, once we have tier 3 weapons equipped, and spam those out. You get them for your dailies, you get them from drops, and that will propel us to tier 4 and beyond. And that's how you that's how you fame up your weapons as a gatherer. Alright, so Limhurst, it's the same thing as Bridgewatch, it's just a different layout, but always in the center you'll have your bank and your marketplace. So we're going in the marketplace, and we are going to first, let's see how much it costs to repair. This costs 17,000 to repair, so we need to sell like 25,000 worth of stuff, which is fine. So we're going to go and sell our now filled journals. And we still have 3 more to fill, so we're fine. Like, let's find the journals, the filled ones, the full ones. And those quick sell for 4,200. So that's a huge profit that we turned right there. So that's already 8,000. We're at 9,920. And because Limhurst is where you refine fiber, and the forest areas do not have fiber, they buy your fiber at a higher rate than other towns. So you can see it's 33 here instead of 17, 43 instead of 30, and 65 instead of 52. So we could technically just sell all of our fiber here if we want. But we do want to start leveling refining, so once our 3-day premium is up, we have 30,000 focus. We can then focus refine and make a huge profit. Also, let's sell these treasures that I found. So we're at 11,000. We need 17 for repairs. Let's just here. Let's sell a stack of flax. That's fine. That's 41,000. That covers all bills. And let's go pork pie. Let's get some pork pies. All right. So I'm gonna buy one hour's worth. So 7,000.
See you later.
And to put those on, we're gonna repair. Oh, let's get a tier 3 bow while we're here. I forgot. Also, Limhurst is the bow crafting capital, so bows are the cheapest here. So that works out in our favor. So we'll just grab this one right here. Grab a tier 3 bow. I'm just gonna trash the tier 2 bow. It's only like what, like 17 silver or something if I were to sell it. Not a lot. I'm also going to use these tomes because they do take up inventory space. There we go. And now let's go focus refine. So here's how focus, or not focus refine, just regular refine. After I repair, the repair bench is right over here. You can see on the map. And there we go. Now we have enough silver to repair in the field, so we don't have to like run back to town and sell, right? Okay, let's focus refine. I'm going to find a weaver. That's these little rolled bandage looking things. I'm going to left click it. It's going to only highlight them on the map. Look how many people own cloth refining. Okay, so I'm looking at usage fee for users. So if I go over here, usage fee for a user is 49%. We're looking for the cheapest price. Alright, because this does cost silver to use. That's why we have a little bit of extra on us. 49 was the cheapest so far. 49 there. 49 there. 52, 52. 49. It looks like the cheapest we're going to get is 49. And this one is the closest, I think, in this little corner. This Disco 44. So, sometimes they get real cheap. Sometimes they go down to 10%. They get into bid wars. They, the cartel angers, like, people and stuff. And they just, I don't know. It's interesting how this whole thing works. I think I have to go down this way to get over there. And that's fine. Now, I mean, it's only a few percent. If you don't want to write out, you know, the few extra, like, seconds it takes to get over there, and that's fine. But we're gonna focus refine, and the way focus refining works is tier 2 is free, but when we focus refine tier 2, we lose money, but because we're when we refine in Limhurst, we get a bonus. So check this out. You see where it says resource return rate? 36%. So if we were to do 10 of these, right, we would get back 3.6 of them to use again. So, you know, you do the math, we're going to get back a bunch. And when we use focus, it raises it to 53.9. But you don't ever want to use focus refining on anything below tier 4 because you cannot spec for that. Alright, so save your focus for tier 4, but we are leveling our refining so that our focus costs less when we get around to actually doing tier 4. So let's go ahead, this is free. You can look in the bottom right, my inventory is worth 193,000, so when I hit this, it's actually going to go down. Or maybe it won't, let's find out. Alright, here we go. Oh, I gained 1,000, just out of nowhere. And people spreadsheet this, they do the math, they will load up a mammoth, they will buy out tons of cloth from one market, run it here to refine it, and then run it back. So we just made 2,000 silver for clicking a button that didn't cost anything. And you just keep doing that until the game does not let you anymore. But also watch your carry weight, because my carry weight's starting to go up here. We don't want to get too overburdened, because then it'll make the ride back really slow. Alright, there we go. So we have refined our fiber into simple cloth. Now, we need a simple cloth to make neat cloth. You need, for every 2 simple cloth, you need 1 flax. And this is going to cost us. So this costs 4,700. So to do the math, we're going to round that up to 5,000. And we're going to say that our estimated market value here in the bottom right needs to be above 201,000. So I'm going to go ahead and click craft. And let's see if it goes above 201,000. Even if it doesn't, we still need to do this to level up our refining anyway. So it's at 204,000. So we made profit. 208,000. So we made 7,000. We paid 4,000 silver, but we made 7,000. So you see how that math works? We profited 7,000. And then again, and because we know that profits, we can just continue to click it. No problems. And there we go. Our learning point has been reached for Expert Fiber Weaver, which is not what we want to use. Don't worry about using learning points. Hold on, I have like a loud sound going off in my head. Tinnitus. Crap. It's like Final Fantasy VII when Cloud, like, you know, has to hold his head in that loud beeping noise. Alright, ouch. Anyway, don't use learning points on refining, because refining is the easiest thing in the game to max out. We need every single learning point for our gathering set, okay? Now we move on to fine cloth, and this is going to cost us 14,000. Ouch. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And look at the bottom right corner. So that would be, what, 229 to beat? So we're already at 225. $234. So we profited 6,000 doing that. That was a 6,000 profit. I don't have enough silver to continue refining, and that's okay because we need to sell some stuff anyway so that I can repair in the field. But you know what? I can scale. Well, I want to keep some silver because it costs silver to list. All right. So that's refining. And now this number will actually be a little bit more if we go back to Bridgewatch, because out of all the cities, Bridgewatch is buying fiber at the highest price, which is convenient for us because that's where we're located. That's where we operate out of. So now we just take another 7-minute run and we go back to Bridgewatch and we sell this stuff. And you can hold on to the fiber that we didn't use for later. That's absolutely fine because we know it profits. We know that it gives us a profit. Now, if we have any just regular fiber, we could sell it for some repairs. I'm at 78% weight, so it's up to you. Now, one thing you don't want to do, just real quick, just let me remind you. If you've used the fast travel little compass travel planner here, this thing charges you if you have anything that weighs on you. So if I wanted to travel to Bridgewatch, it cost me 198,000 silver, which means we would barely profit. We wouldn't technically profit at all because of the cost of our sickle. So you don't want to ever fast travel. You want to you've got to load up your ox and ride your butt there, okay? So I'm gonna go ride back to Bridgewatch, and then we're gonna sell the cloth, not the fiber. We're gonna save the fiber. We're gonna put the fiber in the bank for later, and we're gonna continue farming. So I will see you then. And by the way, just a tip: you go to game settings, and then go to controls. I'm sorry, go to key bindings. Scroll down until you see auto run, and then bind that to a convenient key. I have mine set to the button above tab. So what this does is I press the button. I don't have to press anything else. It's just auto running. I can circle the mouse around. It will follow the mouse cursor. This makes it so easy because I can open the map and I can still steer. I don't have to right click, and yeah, I can just follow the road, and then I can like eat chips or, you know, a snack or something. Watch some YouTube. Just auto run makes your life really easy, guys. So go ahead and make sure you're using auto run. All right, we made it back to Bridgewatch. Time to sell our stuff. We're gonna compare the quick sell to the normal sell, so that's 9.8k or 13k, 12k. I'm gonna go with the 12k because this stuff will sell. People use it all the time. And again, we're gonna do it for 19. And then the nice cloth, we're going to, you can see there's a bigger difference there. So we're gonna do that for 20k. And then the fine cloth, let's see, that's 45k or 68. Oh, I definitely want the 68k. And there we go. So the average price is 169, so we're selling it for 165. It'll definitely sell. It just takes time, but hey, we got plenty of time. And you can buy more journals and fill those. Once we start getting more money in, you can branch out and press G. You press G and you create your own guild. Then you can use a guild island, and you could use the laborers and use the journals, which is something I highly recommend as a laborer or as a gatherer. Alright, and then we're going to bank the rest of this fiber so that our inventory is nice and clean and empty. So to do that, you'll notice, hold on, reset the camera. There's a big chest icon in the middle, but we're in the market. If you go down here, where the market is, there is a bank. And it doesn't cost anything unless you buy more tabs, but you just go here and you just throw everything you're not currently using into the bank, and there we go. So we have 20,000 worth of stuff in our bank. We want to refine that for later, of course. But for now, we're going to go out and do another hour's worth of gathering. I've got 2 pork pies. 1 hour of gathering. Sounds good to me. I'll meet you back there, or I'll see you in a bit. Alright, 4 hours and 41 minutes. I technically have enough experience in Tier 4 to be able to go to Tier 5, but I do not have enough learning points. That is because I have had no breaks since creating this character, but if you only have 4 hours of playtime of gathering and you've let some days pass by, then you will have the learning points to go to Tier 5, but I don't. So that's just a quick status update. Also, I have done many banks and buying and selling, and yes, you register for mobile. I have 13 journals now to fill. Also, we're going to be selling the journals in Limhurst when we do our transports for refining, because these sell for like 700 more each in Limhurst. So it's like sell 3 and you basically get 1 for free. Alright. And I'm going to go back to doing more gathering. I didn't spend 1 hour. I only spent 30 minutes gathering. Well, a little bit over because the food runs out and then I don't notice. Because I'm just binge watching YouTube videos at this point. So back to gathering I go. Alright. Took a 12-hour break. That includes sleep and food and all that kind of stuff, and just spending some time away from the game because this is getting really monotonous and just draining me mentally, right? So where are we at? Oh man, all the lag. Okay, so we're at 71,000 silver. We got a bank full of 300k about. And yeah, we're gonna go do more gathering. Let's see, 12 hours have passed. That gives us 68 learning points, and we need how much for the next one? We need 99, so we got to do some more grinding until we can lower this number down, because the closer we get to finishing expert, the less learning points it will take. So I'm gonna go do some more. I got an hour's worth of pies. I'm gonna go do some more harvesting, and I'll be back. Alright, so we're about 8 hours of playtime in with 12 hours of AFK, and we're at 52% on the fiber harvesting for expert. We have enough learning points now. This is all of our learning points. And there we go. Now we can unlock Tier 5 Avalonian Sickle, which costs 376,000. We can afford that if we sell everything. And then a set of Tier 5, which will slightly boost our gathering rate. And then let me go back to town and show you just how much stuff that I've acquired in these 8 hours. Now, I'm making about 200,000 silver an hour, and that's with the 3-day premium active. It will be more once you hit Tier 6. You can crank those numbers up to about 340,000 per hour. I don't know what fiber gives at Tier 8, but as a Tier 8 near max spec lumberjack with premium active, I can push about 500,000 an hour, which is far less than what the game used to be. Also, one thing I've noticed while gathering is bots, just bots everywhere, right? Now, there was a game master on in the chat earlier, and I managed to talk to him, and I had him come down and check out a bot, and he did ban the bot because I managed to get his attention, which is not something I can do on my main account. But on this one, I was able to talk to the game master and be like, hey, there's a bot here, and he checked it out. It was clearly a bot. So he banned the bot, but they don't slay the bots anymore. They don't used to, whenever you found a bot and they banned a bot, they would kill the bot in front of you and you could loot it and get all of its stuff, but they don't do that anymore. Now, after he banned the bot, he went off to do something else. He just has been inactive in the chat. Or he's just not on anymore. And then, I'm not even kidding, 1 minute later, a new bot with the same exact gear set, similar specs, similar everything, came out with the same mannerisms and same behaviors, and took over the same spot. So, it's like, well, you banned one, but, you know, like 3 more just pop up. even in this case it was just one because they just station one bot per section, right? So the botting problem, maybe they're working on it. It's surprising because normally when I report a bot, it takes about a month for them to get banned, but at least I was able to flag down the game master this time, and he was able to ban it pretty quick. I don't know if that's a concurrent thing or if they're doing that for the mobile release, but either way, it's kind of cool to see something being done to the bots. But I just thought I'd let you guys know that whenever you get a bot banned, another takes its place really, really quickly. Alright, so we are 8 hours into this character, and let me show you the net worth of gear that we have. I pulled everything out of the markets, and okay, I don't care about communism stuff, so here we go. So the entire net worth so far in 8 hours of pure gathering, in mostly empty zones, being very min-maxy about it, is 618,000 silver, and our character has 166,000 on us. I pulled everything from the markets. Also, it's taken about 30 minutes to ride to Limhurst, refine everything, and ride back. And it used to be 15, but that was before the world got bigger, so ouch, that really hurts earnings. So if I was to do this in the future, like if I had to be a gatherer for whatever reason, I probably wouldn't even bother with refining at this point, honestly. I would just save focus for rushing farmland work or something. But essentially, that's how much we made in 8 hours. Now, if you compare to the dungeon video, we had something like, what's that, like 4 million silver in those first 8 hours of making a new character. So we're not even at 1 million. We're at like 770, 80,000 or something. It's kind of pathetic. Now, yeah, once you get to tier 8, you can mindlessly, you know, farm, and it's less effort than doing dungeons, but you're making so much less by being a gatherer. But I don't know, that's crazy. Hey, remember earlier in the video when I told you never ever speak in English chat? Well, one of my long-term time Discord users, 0x000, made a joke in the English chat that he has enough coding power to bring down the server, right? He was just talking about how, you know, he's a coder, he's a, you know, programmer, and that if he wanted, he could technically crash the server. Well, the game masters were like, well, you shouldn't joke about that, and then they gave him a permanent ban. The dude's been playing Albion for a very long time. He had nearly 500 million in silver on that character, and yeah, so he's just gone forever because he was just talking about his programming ability. Isn't that messed up? He wasn't like threatening the server or anything. He was literally just talking about that if he wanted to, he could, because he knows how to run programs and code things. Like, it's silly. So if you're still watching this far into the video, never ever speak in English chat. Just don't do it. Just don't ever say a freaking word at all. Don't even speak at all. I mean, you can see right now, like, that's not even English, whatever that means. So, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the video. Hopefully you learned something. If you want to be a gatherer, then this is a good thing you can do. I do recommend doing the starter dungeon quest so you can get a tier 4 bow faster. Also, you'd probably get enough fame to be able to advance to a tier 4 ox a little bit earlier. I'm about to hit tier 5 ox on this character. Here's the spec if you're curious, okay? So we got Journeyman unlocked, we've got 8 levels into Fiber, Adept tier 4, and then we unlocked Expert 8 hours in with a 12-hour break in between playing, which if we didn't break for 12 hours, it would take about 12 more learning points or so. You get 20 a day, essentially. And it hasn't been a full day. You can look at my focus. I haven't used any focus. At 9960 focus, that's 22 hours. At 10,000 focus, that's 24 hours. So it's been less than a full day since I've got premium on this character for the free 3 days. That's really it. This is just the auctions of selling like 999 simple cloth for this amount and whatnot. So, yeah, anyway, I'm Soul Benji, thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. And if you want a better start, please go check out the dungeon guide. It was yesterday's video. Just click on my channel, find yesterday's video, there you go. And I'll see you in the next one.